What's the best joke you know? Why do scuba divers fall out of the boat backwards? Because if they fell forwards, they'd still be in the boat. What's the difference between an oral thermometer and a rectal thermometer? The taste. Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. What does a robot do during a one-night stand? And #X200B. He nuts and bolts. Much more fun to say out loud than type, but two whales walk into a barThe. Bartender asks, what can I get for you two? One whale goes ****. I try for Dorys humpback whale impersonation here. The second whale, go home Frank, you're drunk. Not mine, but I think it belongs to my favorite ones. Doctor, will I be okay? I don't. No. Mercury is in Uranus right now. I don't. Do astronomy doc. Me neither. My thermometer just broke. Did you hear about the cheese factory in France that exploded? Debris was everywhere. I was in the office today and the cleaning lady asked if I wanted to smoke weed with her after work. I turned her down. I don't really like high-maintenance women. Two nuns were sitting on a park bench when a naked man runs by. One of the nuns had a stroke. The other couldn't reach. Stalin is sitting at his desk busy with paperwork when his assistant bursts into the room and says, Comrade Stalin, there's a clairvoyant here that wants to see you. He claims he can see the future. Send him to Gulag, says Stalin. If he could see the future, he wouldn't have come here. A Buddhist walks up to a hot dog vendor and says, make me one with everything. Bonus for philosophy nerds. Descartes walks into a bar. The bartender says, hey, Descartes, I just got this new import beer in. Want to try it? Descartes says, I think not. And he vanishes into thin air. I mixed up the words jacuzzi and yakuza and now I am in hot water with the Japanese mafia. A man goes to a funeral. He asks the widow if he could say a word. He goes to the front and says, plethora, and sits back down. The widow leans over and whispers, thanks, that means a lot. Edit. Thank you everyone. I gladly will add on your lines when I retell this joke. You have all made my day brighter. Two guys are walking down the street when they see a dog licking his balls. One guy says, I wish I could do that. The other replies, well, maybe just try petting him first. I had a song stuck in my head the other day and kept singing it out loud. My wife finally broke down and screamed, will you please stop singing Wonderwall? I said maybe. People are shocked when they find out what a terrible electrician I am. A proctologist walks into a bank. He needs to sign a document. He tries to sign, but he pulls a thermometer out of his shirt pocket. Oh shit, some asshole has my pen. Dad, the trash man, here. Tell him we don't need any. What did the sign on the door of the brothel say? Beat it, we reclose. I went to the zoo and saw a baguette in a cage. I asked the zookeeper about it, and he told me it was bred in captivity. Doc, you gotta help me. I can't stop singing. What? New pussycat, ah. That sounds like Tom Jones syndrome. Is it common? It's not unusual. What did Cinderella say when she got to the ball? Makes gagging sound. I told this to my family when I was like, 11. Went over well. Why did the blind man fall into the well? He couldn't see that well. The divorce court judge says to Mickey, now let me get this straight, Mr. Mouse. You want a divorce from your wife Minnie because she's crazy? And Mickey says, no, I never said she was crazy. I said she was fucking goofy. What do you get if you insert human DNA into a goat? Kicked out of the petting zoo. What did the fish say when it hit the wall? Damn, my uncle's only joke. Two windmills are standing in a field when one asks, what's your favorite type of music? The other says, I am a big metal fan. I walked into the pharmacy and asked for some deodorant, the ball kind. Just for under the arms is fine. Why does a chicken coop only have 2 doors? Because if it had 4, it would be a chicken sedan. What do you call a dog with steel balls and no hind legs? Sparky. Why does the Little Mermaid wear seashells? Because she's too big for bee shells. Edit. Had no idea this was gonna blow up. Thanks all of you for all the awards. I bought the worst thesaurus the other day. Not only was it terrible, it was also terrible. Edit. Well, shucks. Thanks for all the awards and for my most upvoted comment. You're all great, and also, you're great. What's red and bad for your teeth? A brick. 2 cows are standing in a field. One turns to the other and says, did you hear about the mad cow disease going around? The other cow responds, good thing I'm a helicopter. Did you hear about the man with 5 penises? His pants fit like a glove. Waterboarding in Guantanamo Bay sounds like a great time if you don't know what either of those things are. How do you spot a blind man in a nudist camp? It's not hard. How many potatoes does it take to kill an Irishman? None. What's the difference between a dirty bus stop and a lobster with breast implants? One is a crusty bus station and the other is a busty crustacean. Doctor, I swallowed a pen well. Sit down and write your name. What's blue and smells like red paint? Blue paint. I have a joke I tell kids. I start with the interrupting cow knock knock joke. Knock knock, who's there? Interrupting sloth, slowly. Interrupting sloth who? Wait a few seconds. Ah. What's the difference between a hippo and a zippo? One is very heavy, and the other is a little lighter. I can't wait to not remember a single one of these when I'd actually like to tell one. Not mine. I went to a beekeeper to get 12 bees. He counted and gave me 13. Sir, you gave me an extra. That's a freebie. A Chevy Silverado, a Ford F-150, a Ram 1500, a GMC Sierra, and a Toyota Tundra are driving in convoy. Best pickup line ever. What do you call an overweight psychic? A fortune teller. How do you find Will Smith in the snow? You follow the Fresh Prince. An Englishman, a Frenchman, a Spaniard and a German are all standing watching an American street performer do some juggling. The juggler notices the four gentlemen have a very poor view, so he stands up on a wooden crate and calls out, "Can we all see me now?" "Yes. We see. Yeah." I was walking down the street and I see this sad-looking kid sitting on the side of the road. So I ask him, "Hey kid, are you an orphan?" With a look of surprise he says, "Yeah, what gave me away?" "Your parents." Real dad joke coming up. What's a pirate's favorite letter? Most proceed to say RRRR. You'd think it's the R, but its first love is the C. Edit. Thank you for the Silver Stranger EDIT2. Thank you for the Hugs Award. Edit 3, First Gold. Thank you Third Kind Stranger. Edit 4, a Rocket Life Award. Not sure what that is, but thank you. Edit 5. Woke up to a load more awards. Thank you all. You want to hear a joke about construction? I'm still working on it. As I handed my mother her 50th birthday card, she said, "One would have done." I went to a zoo the other day and they only had one animal. It was a Shih Tzu. Mama Mole and Papa Mole ate, having an argument when Papa Mole stops in his tracks. I smell something delicious, and scurries to the top of the mole hole. It smells like honey. Mama Mole scurries up beside him. It does smell like honey. Baby Mole scurries up and says, "Huh, weird. Then all I smell is molasses." What do you call a reverse exorcism? When the devil tells the priest to get out of the child. What's the difference between a hot potato and a flying pig? One's a heated yam and the other's a heated ham. Nothing beats a beautiful woman with a great singing voice except Chris Brown. Want to hear a joke about my cat? The one that cracks me up the most at the moment I show. Does a musician turn on the light at night? He opens the car door. What's the difference between beer nuts and deer nuts? One's $1.49 and one's under $1. My grandfather has a heart of lion. He is now banned from zoo. John walked into his local bar, says hi to the lads and orders a pint, takes a big slug and says, "Ah, needed that." Long day down at the battered women's shelter. My arms are flocking, killing me. His mates think it's hilarious. And go back to chatting. John stares into his pint, slightly hurt. He thought he'd done a really good job of putting in all those new shelving units and wardrobes. It's best said in Dutch, but it works in English. What's the difference between a pro footballer and a prostitute? One's got a cracked muscle, the other a muscular crack. Greater than what is het verschil tussen een pro voetballer en een hoer? De een heeft een gescheurd spier, de ander een gespierde scheur. And the Lord said unto John, "Come forth and receive eternal life." But John came in fifth, so he got a toaster instead. What's the difference between a stripper and a waitress at a strip club? 6 months. It's about amnesia, but I always forget it for some reason. I saw a girl crying, so I asked her, "Where are your parents?" And she started crying even more. Man, I love working at the orphanage. Me, I can speak any language in the world. I'm fluent in every single one, except Greek. Go ahead. Try me. Bilingual person. Says something in a non-English language. Me. That's Greek to me. Bonus points if the bilingual person knows a difficult or obscure language. I have a knock-knock joke, but you have to start it. I have no jokes. What's the difference between a lentil and chickpea? I would never pay $200 to have a lentil in my mouth. How many dead hookers does it take to change a light bulb? Apparently more than 5, because my basement is still dark. What do you call an Icelandic baby that dies in childbirth? Stilbjorn. What's the difference between 3 dicks and a joke? Your mom can't take a joke. A man goes into a grocery store and buys 1 bar of soap, 1 toothbrush, 1 loaf of bread, 1 frozen dinner. The cashier says, "You must be single, Aaron, you?" The man replies, "How did you guess?" She replies, "Because you, re-flocking ugly." I only know bad ones. What do you call a fly with no wings? A walk. Badam TS's edit. To TS's, because apparently it bothered someone winking face. 2 old men were comparing their powers of memory. The first old man said, "My memory is so good, I can remember my first birthday party." The second old man answers, "Well, my memory is so good I can remember going to a party with my dad and coming home with my mom." So I went to the doctor the other day and he told me I need to stop masturbating. Why? I asked him. He looks me straight in the eyes and says, "Because I am trying to examine you." Do you know those round hay bales you see in fields sometimes? The government is trying to outlaw them. Apparently cows aren't getting a square meal. Saddest part, I've had people believe it to be real. Air bale, not bail. Where did Sally go during the bombing? Everywhere. What do you call a deer with no eye? No eye deer. What do you call a deer with no eye and no legs? Still no eye deer. What do you call a deer with no eye, no legs and no dick? Still no flocking eye deer.